Hi, Lauren. I'll be interviewing you for this biotech sales position. My name is Brittany Thompson. I'm a manager here, and we wanted to see if you fit in well for this candidacy and this position. So I'm just want to start off with a little bit getting to know you, like your background, your education, previous job experience. Just tell me a little bit about that.
All right, well, I am a recent graduate from LSU. I majored in marketing with a concentration in professional sales as well as a communication studies minor. My experiences include the completion of the Professional Sales Institute courses at LSU, and through that I was able to gain experience in sales by making calls on targeted customers for our big end of the year project that we put on. That was a lot of fun. Learned a lot through that.
It seems like you have a lot of experience in sales and communication, which is good. So what's your favorite teamwork experience? So a situation where you've worked well with others and meshed in a group.
Well, actually, over my 4 years in college, I did have the privilege of being on the LSU swim and dive team. So that just being around 60 people, like 4 hours a day, it's a lot of teamwork there. And I also had the privilege of serving as team captain my senior year, which taught me a lot about communication and being adaptive to other people's communication styles, as well as being an effective communicator for our athletes to our coaches as well.
And would you say that being a captain allowed you to experience a lot of people's personalities and how to communicate with them?
Yes, very much so.
Perfect. And in your marketing, just starting off in the marketing profession, what would you say would be your most important tool for reinforcing your sales pitch to your product or your customers?
I think something that's very important to have in sales and both marketing is being able to adapt to the product that you're selling as well as to the customer you are selling to, because of course not every product is the same and you're not going to sell it the same. You're not going to sell a car the way you're going to sell as a pharmaceutical sales rep would sell a drug, very different things. And then you also have customer selling styles. So those are also very different. Everybody's different. Everybody wants to be sold a different way because everybody has different needs.
I understand. And that would be good in this situation because your territories for this job would be over a large variety of states, which often have different personalities. So adapting to situations is good. How competitive are you, and why is competition important to you?
I think competition is a healthy way to kind of check in with yourself and kind of push yourself to be better in ways that you need to be successful in all aspects of your life. I think that's just a healthy thing to be competitive.
Do you think that a balance of competition and knowing when to work with others is good? Like, do you think too much competition can be bad sometimes?
I think you really have to assess the situation and sort of get a feel for the kind of, honestly, just the situation that it is and kind of take it from there. Every situation is different.
Okay, good, because competition and being competitive is important in sales. So what is a recent goal that you've set for yourself, and how did you achieve it? Like, is there like an action plan or like a situation where you felt that this goal should be completed now, or just run me through something?
So with my most recent work experience, I was working with the sales team for our Professional Sales Institute at LSU, and our sales manager in charge of my team had each person set a goal of obtaining one big sponsorship along with another sponsorship. And for that, she made targets for us weekly, and it was easier to take it week by week than having to do it as like a big chunk. So doing that in small steps in order to get to the big picture was really helpful, and that was our method of getting to our final product.
So would you say that like the big, large sponsor was your big goal, and then each week was your small successive steps to that?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. And give an example of a time you agreed or disagreed with somebody, and then how you dealt with that. So a situation where you felt that you were just on the wrongs with whatever somebody tells you, your manager maybe, and how you dealt with the situation.
So again, with my experience through our professional selling program, my sales manager thought it would be a great idea in order to go out and make contact with our prospect customers, we were to make these little sales videos as like a, hey, I'm Lauren, like get to know me a little bit, and then I'm gonna call you and then meet with you and make that sale. And I thought just in some situations with some of our like kind of old school customers that this new video technology just wasn't gonna fly with them, and they wouldn't even click on the link if we sent it to them. So I felt like an email would have been more appropriate when I brought that up to our manager. She disagreed, so I had to comply, but in the end, everything worked out. It was just a little small bump in the road.
Do you feel that when you brought up to your manager that you were expressing your concerns, and that when your manager saw this, they like kind of smoothed things out and said, "This is why we're doing this," showing you why this is important, and in the end, you agreed with that?
And she did end up showing me how it had been proven to be successful in the area. So then that kind of took away any doubts.
Kind of ties in with like you receiving criticism, right, and being constructive in that way, and being able to adapt to.
Yes, because along with that, she did take all of the videos that we made and reviewed them and told us what we needed to fix. So a lot of effective and constructive communication there.
And describe a situation where you had to deal with someone that was upset with you and how you dealt with this.
So in sales, a lot of times, if you sell a customer a product and it so happens to not end up working out for them or not meeting the need that they came to you with, they will come back angry. So it's best just to take the blame, knowing that the customer is never at fault, and just to kind of apologize and take all the blame and just kind of move on from there.
Very good. And so with this job, you're going to be given a territory and obviously a list of doctors you need to call on. How would you organize and prioritize this call list, and what would you choose as important and less important in terms of location and maybe importance in doctors?
So I definitely think with as big as a territory as this is going to be, it's definitely best to prioritize making calls in that specific area over the time that I will be there. And then after that, once I'm in the area, kind of prioritize based on the availability given to me by the doctors and the offices in that area as well.
And what is an example of you conforming to a policy that you didn't agree with? So this can be anything that's like a rule or something that like your manager says you have to do this, and you say, well, I just don't think that's right.
So back to my experience through my internship thing at school, I'm very much a person who likes to handwrite everything that I get and any information that I get. So when we were making sales calls, any information I was getting on customers and their needs and our prospects in the area, I was writing down by hand, but they had a software that they would rather us input it into. So even though I was used to writing everything down, I really had to force myself to make sure I was going back in at the end of the day and inputting it into our customer relationship software.
And what's an ethical dilemma that you've experienced, that something where you felt that this shouldn't be happening and I need to do something about it because, I don't know, it's just something that just should not be happening in your job, and that you feel you can correct?
In one of my prior jobs, I had discovered that one of my coworkers had given a doctor in the area incorrect information on a product in order to sell it to him and make the sale. And I ended up having to report that coworker, and it ended in their termination from the company. But overall, like, you have to keep up with ethical standards. Like, that's not the right thing to do. You have to cope with everything, because in the end, the patient or person's life is on the line. So
well, that's all the questions I have to ask for you today, and I really enjoyed talking with you, and I will let you know if we decide to go further with you.
All right,
Thank you so
much.
much.
For this opportunity today.